The story begins in Modena, Italy, in the winter of 1908. The air is crisp, carrying the smell of wood smoke and damp stone streets. A young boy named Enzo Ferrari, bundled against the cold, stands at the edge of a racetrack, his small frame pressed against the barriers. He watches in awe as early racing machines spindly, loud, and impossibly fast roar past in a blur of grit and thunder. The engines scream, the crowd shouts, and Enzo feels something stir deep inside him. That day, a spark ignites a vision of speed, competition, and glory that will define his lifetime. Years later, after enduring the loss of his father and brother in the flu pandemic and surviving the hardships of World War I, Enzo claws his way into motorsport. By the early 1920s, he's racing for Alfa Romeo. His skill behind the wheel earns respect, but it's his mind sharp, strategic, always calculating that sets him apart. He begins to understand that racing is as much about preparation and teamwork as it is about bravery at 100 kilometers an hour. In 1929, armed with charisma, determination, and a growing network of wealthy enthusiasts, Enzo forms Scuderia Ferrari. It's a racing team under Alfa Romeo's umbrella, but it has its own soul. The emblem, the black prancing horse, comes from an extraordinary source. Countess Paolina Baracca, mother of wee flying ace Francesco Baracca, gifts Enzo the symbol that once adorned her son's fighter plane. "It will bring you luck," she says. Enzo adds a yellow background, the color of Modena's flag, and a legend is born. By 1939, tensions with Alfa Romeo boil over. Enzo leaves, but legal agreements forbid him from using the Ferrari name for years. Undeterred, he builds the AAC 815, a sleek endurance racer that, while not officially a Ferrari, carries his engineering fingerprints. But the world changes overnight. World War II interrupts racing, and in 1943, Allied bombing forces him to move operations from Modena to a quiet town called Maranello. This reluctant move will become destiny. Maranello will remain Ferrari's heart forever. The war ends, and Italy emerges scarred but hungry for revival. In 1947, the first true Ferrari, the 125 South, rolls out of the Maranello workshop. Designed by Gioacchino Colombo, it features a jewel-like 1.5-liter V12 engine. Its first race ends in mechanical heartbreak. Enzo shrugs it off, famously saying, "You must learn to lose before you can win." A week later, the 125 South roars to victory in Rome. From that moment, Ferrari's DNA is set: beauty, speed, and resilience. Victories soon follow at Mille Miglia, Targa Florio, and Le Mans. The early 1950s bring both triumph and expansion. Ferrari's first road cars, the 166 Inter and 212 Inter, are unveiled, aimed at wealthy customers who want race-bred performance in a car fit for the boulevards of Paris and Rome. These are not mass-produced machines. Each is built by hand, with details as unique as a tailored suit. Yet Enzo remains clear: road cars exist for one reason: to finance racing. In 1951, Jos Froil and Gons Les gives Ferrari its first Formula One win at Silverstone, defeating Alfa Romeo in a victory so personal that Enzo calls it "the day I killed my mother." Soon after, Alberto Ascari secures back-to-back F1 championships in 1952 and 1953, cementing Ferrari's place at the sports summit. But racing's glory comes with shadows. In 1957, at the Mille Miglia, a tire blowout on Alfonso Di Portego's Ferrari leads to a crash that kills Di Portego, his co-driver, and 10 spectators. Enzo is charged with manslaughter, though he is later acquitted. The tragedy, however, leaves an indelible mark. The 1960s see Ferrari dominate endurance racing, winning at Le Mans and across Europe. But a new challenger appears: not another Italian team, but Ford Motor Company. Henry Ford too offers to buy Ferrari. The deal nearly goes through until Enzo reads a clause that would strip his control over racing. In a fury, he walks away. Ford retaliates by creating the GT40, engineered for one purpose, to beat Ferrari at Le Mans. In 1966, Ford sweeps the podium, but the rivalry immortalizes Ferrari in racing folklore. Off the track, the 1960s produced some of the most beautiful road cars ever built: the 250 GTO, the Ferrari Daytona. Celebrities, royalty, and industrial titans covet them, but Enzo sees them only as means to keep Scuderia Ferrari on the grid. His passion remains singular: winning. The 1970s usher in the era of Niki Lauda. The Austrian driver brings discipline and technical precision, leading Ferrari to F1 titles in 1975 and 1977. In 1976, Lauda survives a fiery crash at the Nürburgring, returning to racing just 6 weeks later, a comeback so dramatic it becomes legend. By now, Enzo rarely appears at races, earning the nickname Il Commendatore, but his control is absolute. In August 1988, Enzo Ferrari passes away at 90. Just weeks later, Ferrari wins the Italian Grand Prix at Monza, the team's only win that season, as if fate itself had orchestrated a final salute. The last car he personally approved, the F40, becomes an instant icon: raw, fast, and unapologetically pure. The 1990s bring corporate shifts. Fiat increases its stake, but the brand's identity remains untarnished. Then, in 1996, Michael Schumacher joins Ferrari. What follows is the most dominant period in F1 history: 5 consecutive drivers' championships from 2000 to 2004. Ferrari is unstoppable, and Schumacher becomes a legend in red. In the modern era, Ferrari road cars push engineering boundaries: the Enzo, the LaFerrari, the SF90 Stradale. The brand expands into lifestyle ventures, but exclusivity remains its soul. Even the wealthiest buyers must be approved. In Ferrari's world, money alone does not open the door, passion and loyalty do. Today, as the automotive world turns toward hybrid and electric power, Ferrari faces its next great challenge: preserving emotion in a silent, battery-powered age. Yet the passion, la passione, remains unshaken. From a boy's dream in Modena to the world's most revered automotive name, Ferrari is more than a manufacturer. It is a legend written in red, a promise of speed, and proof that some dreams, once ignited, never stop running.